Marcus Chen had exactly 3 rules when it came to salvage auctions. Never bid drunk, never bid on anything that glowed, and never, under any circumstances, buy a ship without inspecting it first. He'd broken rule number 3. The rusted Javelin-class freighter had cost him 12,000 credits. A steal, considering most functional ships went for 10 times that amount. The auctioneer had been suspiciously eager to close the deal, practically shoving the datapad into Marcus's hands before he could reconsider. But Marcus was desperate. 6 months of failed cargo runs had left him broke, sleeping in station corridors and surviving on NutriPaste. This ship was his last chance. He should have known better. The moment he stepped through the airlock, he knew something was wrong. The ship's interior was immaculate, not the usual grime-covered disaster he'd expected from a repo auction. The corridors gleamed under soft bioluminescent strips, and the air smelled faintly of something floral, distinctly unspaceship-like. "Hello?" Marcus called out, his voice echoing through the empty halls. "Main cargo bay," a voice responded, feminine, melodic, and definitely not human. Marcus's hand instinctively went to the plasma pistol at his hip. He hadn't owned a weapon in years, but station life had taught him paranoia was a survival skill. He made his way through the ship following the voice until he reached the cargo bay. She was standing in the center of the room, illuminated by the overhead lights. At first glance, she appeared almost human, bipedal, roughly his height, with features that were delicate and symmetrical. But her skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting between shades of blue and violet. Her eyes were too large, too luminous, and her hair moved as if underwater, defying gravity. "You're the new owner," she stated, not asked. Marcus blinked. Yes, I bought this ship at auction." "Who are you? Why are you on my ship?" "I am Lyrae of the Celestian Accord." "And this is not your ship." "It is our ship. I am part of the manifest." "Manifest?" Marcus pulled out his datapad, scrolling through the purchase documentation. Sure enough, buried in the fine print under additional assets, it was a single line. 1 bonded crew member, Celestian designation, non-transferable. "What the hell does bonded mean?" Lyrae tilted her head, her expression somewhere between amusement and pity. "It means, human, that according to Celestian law, I am bound to this vessel and its captain. When you purchased the ship, you became my husband." Marcus dropped the datapad. "Your what?" "It is a cultural practice," Lyrae explained calmly, as if discussing the weather. "Celestian navigators bond with their ships through a marriage contract. It ensures loyalty, prevents mutiny, and creates a harmonious working relationship. The previous captain died 3 cycles ago. His estate sold the ship. You bought it. Now we are married." "No," Marcus said firmly, backing toward the door. No. I bought a ship. A hunk of metal. Not a wife. The contract is legally binding across 73 systems, including this one," Lyrae said, crossing her arms. Her expression remained serene, but Marcus detected a hint of annoyance. "Besides, you need me. This ship's navigation system is Celestian designed. Without me, you cannot access jump coordinates, life support protocols, or even basic helm control. I am the ship's neural interface." Marcus slumped against the bulkhead. This couldn't be happening. He'd gone from broke and desperate to accidentally married to an alien in the span of 10 minutes. "Can't we just annul it, get a divorce?" Celestian marriage bonds dissolve only through death or mutual consent after a minimum bonding period of 5 standard years. 5 years? Lyrae's luminous eyes softened slightly. "I understand this is not what you expected, Marcus Chen. But we can make this arrangement work. You need a ship and a navigator. I need a captain and purpose. We both benefit." Marcus ran a hand through his hair, trying to process the absurdity of his situation. He looked around the pristine cargo bay, then back at Lyrae. She stood there, patient and otherworldly, waiting for his decision. Do you actually expect me to, be a husband?" he asked carefully. "Celestian marriage is a professional partnership, not necessarily a romantic one," Lyrae replied. "Physical intimacy is optional and only pursued with genuine mutual consent. Many Celestian marriages are purely functional relationships. I expect loyalty, respect, and competent leadership. What you expect from me is your choice." Marcus considered his options. He could walk away, lose the ship, and go back to station corridors and NutriPaste. Or he could accept this bizarre twist of fate and actually have a chance at rebuilding his life. "All right," he said finally. "But we need ground rules. Clear boundaries. And you have to explain how all this Celestian tech works. For the first time, Lyra smiled, a genuine expression that made her alien features seem suddenly warm. Agreed, welcome aboard, Captain. Or should I say husband? Marcus groaned. Just Captain is fine. Over the following weeks, Marcus discovered that having an alien wife wasn't the disaster he'd imagined. Lyra was competent, efficient, and surprisingly funny once he learned to recognize Celestian humor. She taught him to interface with the ship's systems, shared her species' advanced navigation techniques, and even cooked meals that didn't taste like recycled protein. They ran cargo jobs together, splitting profits evenly. Marcus handled client negotiations while Lyra managed the ship's systems, with an expertise that made every journey smooth and profitable. Slowly, grudgingly, Marcus had to admit that the arrangement worked. One evening, as they sat in the galley after a successful run, Lyra looked at him thoughtfully. "You know," she said, "for a human who accidentally bought a wife, you are not terrible." Marcus laughed, the first genuine laugh he'd had in months. "And for an alien who came with a spaceship, you're pretty all right yourself." "Perhaps," Lyra said, her eyes twinkling with that strange alien light. "This arrangement will not be so bad after all." Marcus raised his cup. "To accidental marriages and cheap ships." Lyra touched her cup to his. "To unexpected partnerships and new beginnings." As the ship hummed around them, carrying them toward the next job, the next system, the next adventure, Marcus realized something surprising. He was actually happy. Maybe buying that inexpensive ship had been the best terrible decision he'd ever made.